Stay tuned for the biggest fish, the hottest bites, this week here on In-Depth Outdoors. With James Holst.
Look at that. Wow, is that an incredible fish?
And the rest of the IDO fishing team. We're headed to the best fisheries across the upper Midwest and Canada. We'll fish longer, explore unfished bodies of water, and go further off the beaten path in search of the hottest bites in fresh water.
Look at that.
With Cal Schwiel.
What a specimen.
And Joel Nilsson.
Whoa, this is an absolute monster.
This is In-Depth Outdoors.
Today on In-Depth Outdoors, we find ourselves at a bit of a tipping point in our broadcast season. With all the warm weather we've had this winter and the warm weather that's forecast on the horizon, we're just not likely to be able to fish into late March or early April out there on the ice like we do most seasons. In fact, I'm willing to predict that we'll probably be out in the boats for the first time in the next couple weeks. But that said, we're not giving up on the ice fishing season just yet. For today's show, Mike Anselmo and I head to Devil's Lake to try to get in on some of the gigantic perch this lake is known for. It's an expansive body of water that requires some very specialized technique to catch these giant jumbo perch. So stick around. It'll be Mike and I on Devil's Lake today on In-Depth Outdoors.
You know, one thing that's always true about fishing Devil's Lake, you drive past a lot of good looking stuff.
You do, and today it was even harder to drive past it because it's a little rough and...
It was slow.
Yes, to say the least.
So we're on some trees, a little knob of them here off the shoreline.
Yeah, it's no big secret out here on Devil's Lake. I mean, you find some flooded timber, you're probably going to find some fish. You just got to drill a lot of holes and work for them, right?
I know people hate it when we say that, but if there's a fishery where a guy is rewarded consistently for putting in a lot of auger work, this is it.
Oh, absolutely. I've been here for, the last 4 days, and there's no way I haven't drilled anywhere between, I would say between 400 and 500 holes in and around all this structure just to find active fish. And you know, the more work you put into it out here, the better the payoff. So.
Oh, and the deal is it's because there's so much of it.
I know.
I mean, it's everywhere.
Yes.
And so those perch don't have to be in any one spot. They can be anywhere. It's our job to go find them. So
yeah.
I'm gonna get an auger cooking.
You know what? We got 2 of them with us. I think we should just start drilling holes.
I will never mind sharing that duty. There it goes.
Fish on.
Perchy!
It's a little one, but it's a start.
Haha, gotta start somewhere, Michael.
That's right. As the sun gets a little bit higher, our ability to catch more fish, I think, is going to greatly increase. Now, I'm all for keeping some fish. The really big ones, I prefer to let go. I mean, a fish like this, 8-9 inches long, that's table fare if you ask me.
Sure.
This one in particular, just for karma's sake, I'm gonna let it swim, just so the perch gods kind of shine down on us and give us a few more.
I love the way you think, Mike.
I had to work that fish a little bit, but you know, that was the first mark that I've had this morning that really kind of interacted with the bait the way that he was supposed to.
Lots of shrimp in the water.
And this is actually kind of low compared to the last couple of years. Little one. Number 2, James.
I got one over here. It's gonna be bigger than yours.
Uh-oh.
Mostly because it's a walleye. You can tell the walleyes from the perch pretty easy because when the walleyes come in, they waste no time hitting it, and that's exactly what that fish did. Not a big walleye. Catch a lot of these out here on Devil's Lake. When Mike was talking about the walleyes being, you know, a real consistent, almost easier bite, he wasn't kidding. But really, very often what you're talking about is fish in that caliber up to about 18 inches. Why I'm out here is those giant perch. Nothing against that walleye. I will be happy to mix in a bunch of fish like that today, but really it's not our target species. but far more aggressive. The perch, you got to work those a little bit more most days. That walleye just come in and just pop that spoon. I really had no time to react at all. All right, we'll let that guy go. I'm probably going to keep some fish today, but I'm going to hold out for some of those perch. That's you know, the perch are definitely my favorite fish to eat. Nothing wrong with that walleye though. And while I've been dealing with walleyes, Mike's over there waylaying the perch. As he predicted, once the sun come out, those perch kind of heat up a little bit. They're far more active, at least in my experience, when you got a little bit of sunlight to work with. Early in the morning, late in the afternoon, as the sun's coming up or just going down, you're probably looking at more of a walleye bite. And midday, the perch are kind of the filler during banker's hours, which is just fine by me. You putting a hurt on them over there, Mike?
Man, they're smacking it right now.
Well, I'll get back in the game. You're just fishing that jig and wrap, right?
Yeah.
I started out with a rattle spoon today, 1/8 ounce rattle spoon in glow goldfish. And I had a pike that decided that I didn't need that lure anymore. And I'm out of that color in the rattle spoon, so I switched over to the tumbler. Been a real good bait for me this winter. I've caught a lot of bluegills and crappies on it. And that walleye agreed that that was the right choice. And I'm tipping that with a bunch of red larvae, those spikes. And I could use a minnow head, and I'd catch fish with both. But what I love about these larvae is they're really tough. They stay on the hook really well. And you know, so very often, the key to catching a number of these fish as they move through in a school is just being really efficient. You don't want to take time to rebait, because if you don't have a bait down in the water, those fish will just swim off. And then of course you're back in the situation of having to punch a bunch of holes and find them again. I'd much rather just keep the fish around. Eliminating the need to rebait every time can really make the difference between catching one fish out of a school or 2 or 3.
Nearly 70 years ago, a simple idea was taking form in the heart of the ice belt. That idea was, if you combined a commitment to quality with a passion for the sport of ice fishing, you could build a better ice auger. From that idea, StrikeMaster was born, forever committed to innovation in the quest to build a lighter, more durable auger. StrikeMaster, powerful, durable, reliable.
The WX2060 and the MX2040 from Skeeter Boats, loaded with a long list of standard features anglers want at an unbeatable price, including a Yamaha VMAX SHO 250 horsepower outboard, Yamaha T9.9 kicker with remote controls, Lowrance HDS12 Gen 3 touch at the dash, and a Minn Kota 112 Ulterra on the bow. The WX2060 priced at $59,995. The new MX2040 priced at $58,995. More comfort, more standard features. When you move up to a WX2060 or MX2040, you get more of everything.
VMC's dominating line of panfish baits just got even better with the introduction of new baits molded from high-density tungsten, the miracle metal that offers the same weight as traditional lead at half the size. The platoon of new baits include the Tungsten Fly, fast-sinking VMC Nymph and Waxtail soft baits pre-rigged on VMC tungsten jigs, and the innovative tungsten chandelier jig that targets roaming panfish like a fish-seeking missile. The next time you hit the ice, tie on a tungsten, and you'll be fishing fast and taking names with VMC.
The nice thing about using these spikes is they're tough. It's not like a waxworm or just a single minnow head that's going to fall off your bait after you get just one bite or catch one fish. When you get a load of these spikes on the end of your treble hook, you're usually able to catch 3-4 fish without having to rebait. And that's all about timing. Here comes the fish. Here it comes. Here it comes. Got him. Feels a little better. Nice Devil's Lake perch. That small one is obviously just paving the way for this big one to come in. Man, what a fish. I never, ever get tired of looking at perch like that. And when you can lip them like a bass, you know you've got a good one. All right, well, that's a I mean, a beautiful Devil's Lake perch. I have no problem letting fish like this go. The amount of eggs that this thing is going to put back into the system is, you know, it's a tremendous amount. So we'll say goodbye to this one until another time. And if I'm lucky enough, there'll be another one waiting for me when I get down there. Coming out of the brush. Got him. Nice fish. Feels heavy. Ooh. Look at that one. That is not our biggest fish of the day, and that is an absolute shame because that's a beautiful, beautiful yellow perch. Look at that. You know you got a nice fish when that big white tummy just kind of rests on the tips of your fingers like that. He just balances himself perfectly right in place. That's a gorgeous fish. Let her swim. Hopefully we can double up. You know, we got some fish here. I don't have that many holes here. You know, I think we should probably punch a few more.
If you go that way, I'll extend in the other direction.
Let's do it.
You know, Mike just had those 3 perch, and that's just very common out here on Devil's Lake. I've had situations where we've been able to get on a school of perch and just kind of sit on them, but that's more the rarity than the everyday occurrence. So you come in, Mike punched about a half dozen holes. He got 3 great perch, including one just absolute massive fish within the first few minutes. And now we just need to relocate that school again. And what we're doing here when we talk about targeting flooded timber, as you look around, you look at the shorelines, all you see is just all this emergent flooded timber just everywhere. But that's not what we're targeting. We're targeting the timber that was actually part of the old lake shoreline. And what we've done is we found that that old lake shoreline is in about 12 to 14 foot of water in this part of the lake. So now that we've located some of this timber, and you know, you can see it on your fish finder, we know that general depth range we need to stay at. So what we're doing now is we're just visually looking at the shorelines and just kind of following that similar contour. And we've got kind of a point over here to my left. It juts out in the lake and takes a hard left. We'll do the same thing with our holes. We'll just stay off that shoreline in that 12 to 14 foot of water range, and that should keep us right in the active fish milling around zone. I mean, there's really not much for deep water outside those trees, so they do stay close to that old submerged timber.
Got one?
Yes,
Ooh.
I do. Transducered.
Oh!
You too,
I'm in the same tree as you.
Oh, yeah. Look at this. Little porkers. These fish are cool.
This one's a fatty.
You know, we've got a couple things going here right now where we've got some high skies. It's kind of changed the bite just a little bit. These fish are holding so tight to the really heavy cover that we're able to find. They get a little cloud cover, they seem to move out away from those trees. The sun comes back out and they get real tight. And of course, we've had to make just a tiny little bit of an adjustment. I think both Mike and I are fishing these same heavy, compact flash champ spoons, and we're doing that for one and only one reason. You don't want a spoon that'll do a lot of drifting up to the side on the drop, because invariably you end up hung up in the tree. Where are we at, about 30 bucks in tackle so far?
Oh, yeah, what, in the last 60 minutes?
Well, okay. $30 tip there to share with you. Fish really compact spoons. This is not the place for those flutter spoons, like a tingler or a tumbler. Those just drift out way too far. And of course, your favorite bait is a jigging raft.
It is, which is, you're not fishing that, not here.
Not at all,
no.
Because of course, those baits really do the swim and circle on the pole. So we're down to kind of the basics and just fishing these things down in the heavy, heavy timber. And I would imagine we get closer to that, magic hour later in the day, these fish will roam a little bit more.
Yeah, I think so.
Beautiful, beautiful fish.
They're gorgeous, aren't they?
Yes, they are. Well, Mike, I don't know. I think both of these kind of qualify as good eaters. I'm going to take maybe 8, 10 of them home and I'll be good, but that's perfect as far as I'm concerned.
I'll add to your pile.
At Markham, we know being the leader in ice sonar performance doesn't mean we get to rest on our laurels. Introducing the new I-Series line of flashers. Every model in our new I-Series line combines a bright and vivid display with Markham's advanced sonar technology to produce flasher sonar units that offer a larger display and increased viewing angles without compromising Markham's legendary sonar performance. This winter, don't settle for anything less than an I-Series flasher from Markham, the most powerful high-performance flasher sonar units ever built. VMC's dominating line of panfish baits just got even better with the introduction of new baits molded from high-density tungsten, the miracle metal that offers the same weight as traditional lead at half the size. The platoon of new baits include the Tungsten Fly, fast-sinking VMC Nymph and Waxtail soft baits pre-rigged on VMC tungsten jigs, and the innovative Tungsten Chandelier jig that targets roaming panfish like a fish-seeking missile. The next time you hit the ice, tie on a tungsten, and you'll be fishing fast and taking names with VMC.
From the first time you pick up a tuned-up custom rod, you'll know you're holding something special. A rod not mass-produced, but built one at a time by the hands of gifted craftsmen. Rods like the Precision, ice fishing's most versatile multi-species rod, or the Precision Noodle with a tip so sensitive you'll never fish a spring bobber again. And the Commander, the rod that's never met a big fish it couldn't best. Tuned-up custom rods. Ice rods handcrafted for you and the way you fish.
Oh boy, oh boy. These are some big perch. Oh yeah, look at that. It's getting good now. Everybody's mood picks up when the sun comes out, perch included. That is such a nice fish. There we go. Just a dandy. You're probably looking 13 and a half inches there. Just a fat, heavy fish. This is the kind of fish that makes perch anglers pretty happy. I know I'm willing to put some miles on the truck to get on a bite like this. You know, the bite here on Devil's Lake, there's so much food, and that's what makes it possible to grow perch like this, but it kind of works against an angler in one way in that sometimes it can be kind of hard to catch these perch, but what we've got going here today is as long as we can get our baits really tight to this heavy cover, we're able to continue to catch perch like this. Now, one of the things I love about catching perch is the way they hit a bait. They really hit it with authority. It makes it a lot of fun. All right, we're gonna let that fish go. I'm probably gonna end up keeping a couple more to take home with me, but I'm gonna let that one live. See you later, perch. All right, and again, it's that 1/8 ounce flash champ. Today with the bright sun out, it's that UV green color. Definitely a great perch imitator. And we're just loading it up with the red spikes. Very simple presentation. Most of this bite, most of getting these perch up on the ice is just being able to really refine our location. Like I said, get tight to that flooded timber and you're gonna catch fish throughout the course of the day. And we've kind of learned the hard way that you don't want real active baits that move out away from the hole, and when you're dropping those baits down, you want to do it on a really tight line. You want to let it go straight down. Any little bit of veering off to the side, away from the center of the hole, invariably you get hung up in the trees. But once we kind of got that figured out, of course trial by error, we seem to be doing pretty well now. I haven't lost a spoon in probably a couple hours. So some things, some people learn it a little bit slower than others, myself included. But now that we know what we have to do to be successful out here, it's pretty straightforward. When it comes to loading up these spikes, I don't think you can put too many on there. I mean, I don't think it pays to get completely crazy, with spikes on these hooks, but a good half dozen certainly doesn't hurt. I like to have a few extra on there just to give it a little bit more bulk, and these perch will short hit once in a while. And when they do that, very often they'll pull off some of your spikes. If you've only got a couple, 2 or 3 of them on there, you could end up getting stripped of bait. So I always like to wad it up pretty good. That's a pretty tantalizing morsel there. And I really don't know if color of the spikes makes a difference. Most of them, they come naturally as white, and I always like to buy the red ones. Maybe it's more mental than anything else. What I'm doing here is I'm just letting that line go down in kind of a controlled fashion. You really don't want to let it just land on the bottom oop, here comes another fish, guys. Far too often. There he is. Ha ha! 2 drops in a row.
That's not fair. You're making me jealous.
You were handing me my lunch there for about an hour, friend. It's my turn now. Woo. Chubba chubba.
Well, there's basically two classes of perch here in Devil's Lake, giants and 5 or 6 inchers. This is definitely on the big scale. I mean, what a fantastic fish. And you're seeing how fast we're catching them. I mean, it's not always this way. Our day hasn't been this fast paced from start to finish. It really took a while for us to kind of get things refined. But there's definitely a pattern to this, and now that we've kind of stumbled on it, we're in good shape. That one, I think, is going to be perfect for taking home. I'm going to guess about 11.5, maybe 12 inches. And the way these fish run in small schools, I should probably spend a lot less time talking and more time dropping that spoon back down there. A guy can have a real hot hole, catch 4, 5, 6 really quick, and then go real cold for an hour as you look around from one hole to the next, just looking for that next little pot of fish.
This winter, set a trap for your next trophy with iFish Pro. Ideal for all species, iFish Pro is an innovative fishing system that allows an angler to use their favorite rod and reel instead of trying to manage the fish hand over hand.
There's a flag right there.
Complete your ice fishing arsenal with iFish Pro, tactical ice gear that puts the fight back into tip-up fishing.
Look at that.
Find iFish Pro online at ifishpro.com or at your favorite sporting goods retailer.
Everything you'd expect from a premium quality fish house and so much more. Glacier combines superior craftsmanship and premium quality materials to produce a comfortable and enjoyable mobile base camp for your next outdoor adventure. Available in a variety of models, a Glacier Ice House offers more standard features, more usable space, and a better fit and finish than the competition. Visit our website at glaciericehouse.com to find a dealer near you and see why a Glacier Fish House is the ultimate way to play.
Nearly 70 years ago, a simple idea was taking form in the heart of the ice belt. That idea was, if you combined a commitment to quality with a passion for the sport of ice fishing, you could build a better ice auger. From that idea, StrikeMaster was born, forever committed to innovation in the quest to build a lighter, more durable auger. StrikeMaster, powerful, durable, reliable.
Got it. Oh my good grief. All right, I'm just gonna do it like that. Look at that thing. Holy smokes. Now that is a true jumbo perch. I haven't seen one that big in a long time. Right. Wow, that fish is huge. All right. That one's gonna be tough to top, Mike. That's the biggest perch I've caught in a while.
You know, James, I think we're gonna, fish on.
What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, I think we're starting to lose some daylight. And those fish just might turn on here. How about that one?
What I got here is, so the red's the bottom, and all of this is tree branches right in here. I can see my spoon moving up and down just in that bottom third there. It's kind of hard to distinguish, but it really doesn't matter. I know where that spoon's at, and when the fish come on the screen, of course, the fish turns a bright red. So despite the fact that I've got a lot of tree branches kind of in the way, I can still tell what's going on. Got him. Just like that, my friend, just like that. Woo, look at this thing. Bigger than the last.
They are not, I mean, they're just fat pigs. There's no other way to put it.
I'm sure those fish are sitting down there in those branches, feeling very safe and thinking they're about to sneak up on their next meal, when the truth is, they end up coming up to visit me. Wow, did that fish inhale that spoon? All right, so it's loose, but that's a nice perch. That's getting out towards, I won't say top end. They are such cool looking fish. All right, I'm gonna keep that one too.
Come on. Oop, oop. Got him.
Walleye, huh?
I think so. Really aggressive. He just kind of came in. Ooh, nice perch. Fatso.
Oh yeah, there you go. I believe that's considered legit.
That's a magnum, right?
Yeah.
Man, he munched that jigging wrap. Yeah, nice fish. Pretty too, huh?
Yeah, when they can't fall over in your hand because their belly fat turns into rolls off the side that support them like little pontoons.
Yeah. Then you know you're dealing with a nice fish. I never get tired of looking at them. When they get to the point where they're fat like that, they almost look like a cartoon of a perch.
Yes, they do. That's a really good way to put it. A cartoon drawing of a perch. There he is. That's like 3 fish and 4 drops. I can't really tell how big they are when they come up through those, ooh, this is a good one. I can tell how big they are when they get in the hole though. Look at that.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Oh, that is a big perch. You are gonna have to pry me out of this hole.
Hey, that's all right.
It's just fun watching them come up through those branches like that.
Yeah. Oh, it's a blast. And I got an auger. I'll just punch more holes right around you.
That seems like the logical thing to do. But what a fish. Beautiful colors. Just a fatty. There we go. That is a big perch. And that's pretty much why people love coming to Devil's Lake so darn much. Chance at a perch like that. Pretty rare fish back home where we're from. Out here, not so much. I'm gonna let that one go. All right, see you later, perch. You know, Mike, I said we'd fish for another 20 minutes or half an hour after catching that big perch, but I'm not angry at him anymore.
I know, neither am I. I've been here long enough. We caught enough really nice fish where I feel pretty satisfied.
Come on over here, let's close out this show.
Yeah, let's do it.
You know, anybody thinking about taking a late ice fishing trip or looking to catch a giant perch, Devil's Lake has got to be right on the top of the bucket list. I know you've been coming here for years this time of year, and you always seem to have a good trip.
I got a great group of guys that we typically come with, and I've just fallen absolutely in love with it out here. I mean, what's not to like? What's not to like?
Well, when you catch a day like we have here today, where very little wind, great temperatures, I got to count your blessings. I'm sure you've had some trips where it wasn't quite so nice.
Of course, cold, windy, snow, you name it. It's again, if you don't like the weather out here, just wait 10 minutes, right?
Right. So for anybody thinking about getting in on some of this great perch action, I can look at the weather just like anybody else can, and I'm seeing some great temperatures for as far as the eye can see. So if this is something you want to do this year, start making plans, because you're not going to be fishing perch out here, most likely, into April like you do a lot of years. I think it's going to go a lot quicker.
Yeah, I think you're right. When Mother Nature decides the ice is coming off, I think it's going to happen pretty quick this year.
Well, obviously the perch are there, the bite's been solid, so hopefully some of you folks at home can get out and enjoy it yourselves. So from Mike Anselmo and I, thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.
For more info on the latest fish reports, gear recommendations, and hottest techniques, connect with us online at indepthoutdoors.com or follow us on Facebook at In Depth Outdoors. And if you enjoyed today's show, be sure to let our sponsors know.